Hello everyone and welcome to this interactive video, where we have Senior Associate Dean Deepa ma'am, the professor from Welingkar Institute of Management Mumbai. Firstly, welcome ma'am to this interactive session.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on this platform and being able to answer some of the queries.
Yes, ma'am. So I remember we did interact face to face when we did before all this lockdown.
Yes. Before COVID, you had come to campus. I remember that. Yes.
So this year, because obviously the last 2 years the situation has completely changed, and now with CAT results out, and students where they start thinking of the reality check first comes in, ki kitna score aaya, and based on the score, then they start applying to the colleges. That is where students do think of Welingkar, which has got such a huge following, and like the question comes with the cutoff. It starts with the cutoff कि ठीक है अगर मुझे 75 आया है, मुझे 80 आया है, 82 आया है, what are the options that I have? At 90 percentile, what are the options do I have? And then can I even convert that? मुझे PI के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? So these are all a phase, lot of things in students' mind at this point of time.
Correct.
I think definitely you would be the right person to guide students from the college side. Yeah. So first thing is with regards to cutoffs, that normally at what scores people should expect a call. And is it that there are other parameters other than cutoff also to be considered while giving an interview call, or it's only the score?
Most certainly it is not only the score, it is the cutoff in the entrance percentile, whichever the exam that the students may have given. And it is 3 other important factors. One is your your academic journey in your 10th, 12th, graduation. The other part is related to your non-academic aspects, whether it is sports, extracurricular activities, something different that you have done and actually achieved something in that. So there is some weightage for that. And then, of course, you have the interview process. Now with, most of the things, or rather all of it going online, a large emphasis is really on the depth of the interview that takes place. And as far as the cutoff goes for this year for CAT, from Welingkar, it will be, Welingkar Mumbai will be 80 and Bangalore will be 75. For CAT exam, CAT and XAT both. I think we would have already put it up on the site, but if it's not there, it will be there by Monday. For CMAT and ATMA, we'll have a cutoff of about 85 and 80. If the student is applying for healthcare and rural, because students who we look forward to in the healthcare management program or in the rural management program, we prefer having students with a certain education background. And therefore, and we can also see, what is the population which is giving these exams with that particular background or that particular career in mind. So there the cutoff is 70 for these two courses for people with specific background. So CAT cutoff for the programs as such, Mumbai is 80. And Bangalore is 75. Yeah.
Ma'am, I got this WhatsApp message, today morning, and saying that, sir, मेरा profile अच्छा नहीं है. Like students को भी वैसे पता नहीं कि profile में क्या-क्या चीजें आती हैं. So also one of the areas that you can touch upon. But sir, मेरा profile अच्छा नहीं है. I have got 81 percentile. Should I apply to Welingkar? Because he is thinking, sir, मैं apply, because obviously applying to colleges is also this application form. So then they become choosy कि कौन से college में apply करूँ, call आएगा नहीं आएगा, types like that. So if I put it like this, कि 81 percentile student है, with whatever background or whatever profile that he has, should he be assured that he will get an interview call, he will get a chance to prove his candidature there?
Yes. The whole idea behind putting that cutoff is to say that if you have that percentile in that particular exam, you will surely be called for an interview. And now it is up to you and what you have in your biodata in the form of academics, your work experience, how you come across in the interview and everything else that will form the second part of the selection process. So surely that person can expect a call. Yeah. Sure. So
Great, great. I
there's no
mean, so
point of
that's
that.
a clear message, I think, to all the students out there. Okay, and ma'am has categorically mentioned upon what are the cutoffs, okay, for different exams. So
Yes.
I think that is something. I mean, we'll put a link also below this, okay, so that you can check on the website of the college. Okay.
Sure. Last year also we have put out the cutoff for different exams. They can even go and check, and all the students who have got those percentiles in those respective exams have got a call for sure.
Yes, yes. In fact, I remember, ma'am, there's one of my students who got around 80 percentile in CMAT. Okay, fresher candidate. Okay, got into the core program of Welingkar. Okay, and now I think, okay, she has almost passed out. She got some good package also from there. Okay, around 11. Okay, something that she got from there.
Okay, wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. This year, of course, for CMAT, it's 85.
Yeah, so the cutoff has gone, okay, up there. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So, so next thing is with regards to profile, okay, that we were talking about. Like and like profile को लेके सबसे ज़्यादा जो question है वो freshers का आता है, because they are scared about a lot. Sir, मेरे पास तो experience भी नहीं है. Okay, should I get an internship certificate? मैं NGO का कोई certificate लेके आ जाऊँ? Okay, so they start looking at all these options. Okay, that how can they enhance their candidature? So interview, if someone has cleared that round, let's say someone has cleared the cutoff. Okay, like what you, according to you, would make a good profile for Welingkar?
So first thing, let me tell you, if you go to the Welingkar website, or if you go to any other good business school, they would normally tell you what is the percentage of freshers vis-a-vis persons with work experience who are studying at their business school, and across programs, not only the PGTM core, but also in the other courses. And from whatever I have seen of other B schools, and it's so true of Welingkar also, that a good, I would say 50% or 45% students who are freshers. Okay. Even if you go on the lower side, about 40% students who are freshers do get admitted to some or the other good courses and good colleges. Okay. And when I'm saying experience, more than let's say 1 year experience, 1 to 3 years experience is the kind of experience that is really valued in good business schools. If you go and check some of the IIM selection process, if you have too much work experience also, there are negative points for that. But here, from what I've seen on their websites, so at Welingkar, most of the experienced people are in this range of 1 to 3 years experience, and it can range every year, it changes, but I would say 40 to 50% can come from people who have some experience, but there is a good chunk of 50% seats almost who come with less than 1 year work experience or no work experience also. So people should not be bothered by that. And some institutions who put weightage also on work experience, let us presume that there is equal weightage for your entrance and for your profile. All right. So in that case also, work experience will not have undue advantage. But if you are having work experience which has really groomed you, by virtue of which you are able to do well in the interview, which is articulate your thoughts properly, respond to some of the challenging questions that may be put to you, then you will do, by virtue of that, if you do well in your interview, then it's you stand to gain. But if you are a complete fresher but you still have these qualities, there might be some loss of weightage that may happen, but otherwise no, we don't give separate weightage to work experience at Welingkar. What we do is we take it as part of the interview that is conducted. We are more interested in seeing what is the quality of the work experience and how has that experience groomed you, rather than checking how many years and months and weeks you have worked. Okay. So I can give you an example. I have a student in my rural management class, and he said, that I do not have a work experience, and he's applying for internships, etc. So he said, I don't have a salary slip or something from the organ, of my experience. So can I still mention that, ma'am? And the answer was, what have you done? So, he comes from an extremely economically challenged background. And he set up a grocery store for his family during this COVID. His parent, was almost a daily wage earner. He set this store up. He started it started making some money. He put his father behind the cash counter. Now, who would not want to recruit somebody like this?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, there is proof of what you have done, and you can show that evidence, and that is good enough. And I think the people who interview you do have the experience and the bandwidth to figure out what is real experience and what is manufactured experience.
So I think that's a good point, okay, because that if someone is just bringing up some numbers, okay, saying that I have 18 months or this many months of experience, that is not going to make a mark till the time you are able to put that in your interview.
Yes, because if I ask, normally if you're portraying your work experience, surely as an interviewer, I would like to assess you on how has this work experience either helped you in develop skills,
yes,
or develop your knowledge, or develop the right kind of attitude at the workplace. Do you have a maturity? Because tomorrow when you're going to get placed and you're going to expect some kind of lateral placement or a better positioning, are you really up there? Or is it just, you have sailed through this organization wherever you have worked without much happening to you as a individual? So if you have worked in an IT firm and let us say I put across a question where there is a question related to some information that is available, and you're asked to critically analyze that information and say how would you deal with it. If you're able to apply your past experience and come up with a response which really has value, then I know that yes, you are certainly a notch above others. And we have seen that there are some really good freshers as well, who have not sailed through their graduation. They have actually understood concepts. They have taken the initiative to know how to use it in real world, and they are able to give equally good responses. So they won't really lose out in that case. So that fear is unfounded.
I think now I can relate this, okay, to the candidate that I was talking, okay, the one who cleared, okay, at 80 percentile, okay. Being a fresher, okay, like one thing that was there in her profile, that throughout her graduation, she was very active in different college activities.
Right.
So that has groomed her pretty well, okay, with how to put across the thoughts, okay, to people and all that. So I think that could have made a mark, okay, in her performance there.
Yes, and this also has a huge role to play even when you're going to finally get jobs.
Yes.
Because organizations are looking at problem solvers. They're looking at people who can even identify the right problem. They are also looking at people who can get along with others to get the work done, not just make friends, but get people to get things done. Also, what value will you bring to the table? Because today organizations are becoming flatter. So you may be a manager, but your manager is 27 years old and the new reportee is 25-year-old. So there is no big age difference between, even the CEO may be just a 29-year-old. So, it's not years of experience that separates you. It is what you bring to the table that separates you. So you should be able to bring that across well when you're going to an organization, and the B school is a stepping stone in that direction.
Like I remember there was some breakup, okay, in terms of how much weightage was given to the interview part. Okay, so usually how is it at Welingkar's?
So last year it was 35% weightage for the entrance exam, and about 15% for the academics, and 5% for your extracurricular activities, etc., and the remaining for the interview. But then we evaluate it every year. So that's about close to 40% or 40-45 for the interview process.
That's a significant part. Like that's a very good weightage given to the interview.
Correct. But we do evaluate that every year. So we will put that out also shortly for this year. But you can say that there will be a good amount of balance. It's not going to be lopsided.
Yeah. So that gives a fair chance to people who, if you clear the cutoff, you have a good chance to prepare well, go in the interview, okay, like put across those thoughts, okay, on the table and make a mark.
Correct.
That
And
matters.
if somebody is still very data prone, you can look at it this way. Look at what is the score that an 80 percentiler gets, and look at the score what a 90 percentiler gets.
Yes, yes.
And that weightage, even if it is, say 40-50% weightage is given to that. Look at the difference. From what I have seen, the differences are not very big.
Yes, yes, there's hardly any difference.
So it's maybe 80 and 85. There might be a score difference of about 4 or 5 marks or 10 marks. I don't know this year what it is, but usually that's what I see. So it gets reduced to 50% when your weightages are changing. Can you make up that gap in the remaining parameters? Answer is very much yes, you can. You may have to work a little harder. You can't assume the person who has got a higher percentile is going to sit relaxed. He or she is going to also work hard.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, it's like the same, where people even with a 98, okay, those kind of percentile also, okay, struggle to clear the interviews, okay,
Correct.
and people with 80s are able to, sail through.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very, very much possible.
The first part, like, once they start, like, they make a thought of applying to the college, okay, they apply it, okay, and then when they see a huge form, okay, which is a 10, almost like the kind of courses that you choose, and then there's so many questions, and then that is where students start coming back to be, okay, asking that, sir, iska kya likhna hai, uska kya likhna hai, sir, is that going to make a difference, okay, all of that. So, firstly, what is your message to the students, okay, that what they should keep in your mind, okay, while you're answering it, okay, and how those answers are going to be taken further?
Those answers are very important because they form the basis of your interview. It gives us a window into how you are thinking, and are you able to, really figure out why you want to do what you want to do. Because it's not about the fees or the ROI and all of that. It's you're putting in a good 2 years.
Yeah.
No, by now we all know nobody can turn back time. So if you're willing to put in 2 full years into this, do you know why you're getting into this? Of course, you may say that I want a good, a great job, or I want a great package. Fine. So if you want great things, then you have to put some effort into it.
Yes.
If you're going to go in blindfolded and just say that, yeah, something to do for the 2 years, then the response also is going to be like that. So yes, we do have a couple of questions which we ask for every program. So if you say that you want to get into the e-business program, we want to know why do you want to get into that program, and what have you seen in your surrounding which makes you believe that e-business is an area that you should be pursuing, or research and business analytics, or since the forms of last year are available to students, they know. So we might just ask them that what is it that they have done which connects them to some format of analytics which they may have used, or which they can show as an example. So in fact, the application form is a great starting point for the student. They only have to use it well. And my suggestion is that don't wait for you to get shortlisted and then you will think of the answers of why you want to do this and what questions are being asked. Now is a slight waiting period time when you're preparing for various institutions. Take some time and either talk to some alumni who you may be friends with, or even take advice from you, and you can ask them as to why do you really want to do this. Do you see yourself getting into a supply chain kind of a role where the dynamics at workplace are going to be very different, where probably you're going to work on Saturdays, where you're going to work undue hours? Are you really happy doing that? And do you know that your math has to be really good, and your ability to think critically has to be really good if you're looking at analytics? If you're going to tell me that, oh my god, I mean, I left math in class 10, but analytics karna hai. Okay, so I don't have a problem as long as you're willing to learn and you have the aptitude for it. So if your mathematical aptitude is saying that you probably are not really the best in that space, you should really think, because there's no point in applying for something that you're not meant to do just because it's the most toasted career option today in the marketplace. Okay, and that's something that I see a lot of students do. They do tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
And then when they realize that they have to actually answer a few questions, they come back and they say, can we remove this because it's just too much to answer? And I'm like, it's your choice.
Yeah.
You can remove all of it if you like.
I think that is right, because you said that it's just a right starting point. Okay, many times when people like without any thought, okay, they think that okay, let me apply to all the courses.
Yeah.
But when they see the questions, okay, then they get clarity that okay, I need to think about these things before even I apply. It's not about that you just go and apply everywhere.
One thing which we have done now is we have 8 courses in Mumbai and 4 in Bangalore. So we've said in Mumbai, you can apply maximum to 5. So at least apply a filter and say that identify 3 that you don't want to, that you don't see yourself making a career in. And Bangalore, you can apply to 4 because there's 4 programs only over there. And then you decide, what is it that you really want to do and prioritize accordingly. A lot of times I see students, in a dilemma about 2 things, program versus campus.
Yes. Okay.
So they're saying, okay, I want to do PGDM core for sure. Okay. Then they mark PGDM core Mumbai and they mark PGDM core Bangalore. And then some other program which might be next on their priority list. Suppose they get, PGDM Bangalore, then they're like, no, but I want to stay in Mumbai. So I'd rather take e-business Mumbai. So clear up your head. What is important for you? The city where you study in a good institute, I mean, as long as the institute is good, is that city important or is the course important? So if you have to learn to swim, you can't say, no, I'm going to, because there is no, there is no swimming pool in my city, I'm just going to learn it by crawling on the sand outside. That's ridiculous. If you have to go somewhere to learn something, you have to go and do it. There's no 2 ways about it. So if you really are so kicked about doing e-business, Mumbai or Bangalore should not really matter to you.
Yeah.
And I always encourage students that if you can get out of your hometown and city, do that, because this is probably the time of your life when you have lesser liabilities than it will be in the future, and you'll get to know yourself as a person, which is also equally important.
Yes. In fact, that brings us to this question. Okay, that again. Like one is when they start applying, okay, they see the questions in the forms and all that, and then comes the question that whether they should apply to a course or not. Okay, some people have this notion that okay, I'll apply only to core. Okay, because if I apply to rural, sir, मेरे को गाँव में भेज देंगे, ठीक है? So they have this notion that okay, मैं सर retail में MBA करूँगा, मुझे किसी retail store पे काम नहीं करना है. Okay, so it is from the placement perspective also that people think. Okay. So like the notion goes this way that okay, if I am getting into rural management, okay, I will get into a placement which is into some rural area or rural company or something like that. Okay, how relevant is that, and what are the kind of opportunities which is between the core and the other courses?
See, number one, earlier when only PG core used to be there, people would select specializations like this. मुझे मैथ नहीं करना है तो मैं फाइनेंस नहीं लूंगी, मुझे फैक्ट्री पे नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू वर्क इन अ फैक्ट्री सो मैं ऑपरेशंस नहीं लूंगी, HR करना है बिकॉज आई लाइक टॉकिंग टू पीपल, मार्केटिंग में भी लोगों से बात करना अच्छा लगता है मगर मार्केटिंग में बाहर जाना पड़ता है सो आई विल डू HR. This is how people used to choose. Yes. And then they found out that poor HR guy is traveling 15 days a month, trying to, going to all the plants, trying to sell the brand to people so that they get the right people. Okay. And is trying to do compensation and benefits. Matlab they are doing finance, marketing, HR. Yes. And operations. Agree. Okay. So this whole notion about this particular field only brings this is completely a myth.
Yes.
You, the responsibility is with you to go and find out. So today, if you say, I am not interested in retail, I cannot think how far away from the truth you are, because every retail outlet today, whether it is a Nika or whether it is a age-old brand, is in a hybrid mode.
Agree.
Okay, so if that is a fear, then really you do not have any understanding. And those questions which we ask you, actually that is why are a great starting point. Go and find out retail में actually हो क्या रहा है. Okay, and nowadays all the students are very active on LinkedIn. People go and put up what kind of roles they are playing. Talk to them, ask them, what do you do? See, I don't think there's any company in India who will say, I will pay you 20 lakhs, I'll pay you 15 lakhs, and I want you to go and do door-to-door sales. They can get people at 1/10 that salary to do that job.
Yes.
And in this COVID period, you have understood you should understand that most people went to second-tier cities and third-tier cities and worked from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so rural गांव भेजा है, तो please breathe the fresh air, oxygen की वहाँ पे कोई कमी नहीं है. And this is really the time when you can actually go to those locations and learn. And believe me, this is the only time you will get to build your resume.
Yes.
When you turn, let's say when you turn 30, 31, 32, 33, the chances of you taking that risk, I won't call it a risk, taking that trip to a far off rural town, you won't have that much of courage. If you don't have it today, it's very unlikely you're going to build it in the future. And your resume is going to look very bare in terms of experience, because people today do not want people, people want, rather, let me put it this way, they want people who have real experience. Because that's the only thing that's going to last. But if you're so damn clear that this is something that I do not want to do, even if I have to save my life, don't apply to the program.
So in fact, one of my students, I remember, she did rural from Welingkar Mumbai, and she got placed in HDFC Bank. In fact, that is where most of my students, when they have any question, okay, with regards to applying to these courses or not, okay, I tell them to talk to that student, okay, because then she was able to showcase this, that during her time at MBA at Welingkar, she did a lot of things that made her relevant for the profile that HDFC brought in.
Correct.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that way, being in rural also, she got placed along with the core people, okay, at a 10 lakhs plus package, okay, in HDFC. Yeah,
so the kind of roles that you will get, whether if you're in rural and you get into a bank, they are going to look at those kind of products, they are going to look at those kind of sectors which you are going to service. If you are in healthcare management program, an insurance company is going to look at your experience in healthcare management. Just recently, the dean of our healthcare management program, he shared that a lot of, even large hospital sector is now looking at management professionals to run the whole thing. And I think COVID has taught us that once more, that apart from the medicine, it is the how, the where, and the whole, value chain and management of healthcare services is equally important.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is a lot of finance students at times. They come back and say that, we want to do only core finance, we want to do treasury, we want to do investment banking. So my thing is, what is investment banking? End of the day, you're going to assess somebody's ability to put out the funds, and you're going to recommend to that person how they should be making an investment in. So you're selling some investment portfolio to them.
Yes. One final thing, ma'am, okay, that comes up, which I think influences a lot of students, okay.
Yeah.
That is when they are applying to these colleges, okay, and they are having this comparison, okay, between different courses, okay, and you, as you rightly mentioned, is also like comparison between campus versus the program.
Yes.
Okay. People have one concern, okay, that Sir, what if, like, if I apply to these colleges with these programs, okay, and I'm picking, let's say, मैंने ना कोर को भी अप्लाई किया, मैंने रूरल को अप्लाई किया.
हाँ.
So, सर मुझे तो फिर वो लोग रूरल दे देंगे, मुझे कोर नहीं देंगे. Okay, thinking that if I'm applying to this, so that's why I will not apply to these courses. Let me only apply to core. Okay, so that my chances increases for core. So मुझे कभी भी लगता है इतना thought भी student देते हैं, okay, before even marking the preferences.
I am not surprised with this thinking because they don't realize the quantum of applications that is there. Okay, so maybe when they are studying, they see about 100 students or whatever. So you imagine now, every year Welingkar gets anywhere close to 15,000 applications. Out of this, let us say around half the students may get calls for an interview. Now 8,000 students odd, let us say. Okay, you have 5 programs you mark in Bombay and 4 in Bangalore. One human being is going to now put out a program and say those who have chosen rural, pehle unko rural dena, unko core mat dena. Why would we do? I mean, why would anybody do that? You may say, nahi, because rural may not be as popular, so they will offer it. But that's not the truth, because Welingkar very transparently puts out your rank on the basis of your scores, okay, in every program.
Yes.
So we give out the rank for PGDM, every program that you have applied to. If you are above a certain number on the wait list, you know your rank.
Yes.
Okay. And if we have to then, so therefore, you know what your real rank is in rural or healthcare or any other program vis-a-vis PGDM core or e-business or RB. And you'll be surprised, this may come as a surprise or maybe not to a lot of people. But along with core, research and business analytics, e-business, and even business design is highly sought after. There are students who mark that in the first top 3 options.
I've seen
and
that.
There are some students who, have gone ahead with RBA, research and business analytics and e-business over core. So, because, and when I look at those, if we see who those students are, they are very clear about their career path. We had a student last time, and she got into one of the more popular courses, and she said, no, but I will wait. I'm not taking it. I'm waiting for business design.
Okay. I think these courses, I mean, definitely see analytics, okay, or retail in itself has got a lot of scope. In analytics, आज की date में कहाँ नहीं लग रहा है? It's like that. Like everywhere you need analytics.
Right. So even in core, when you do HR or when you do marketing, everybody is asking for analytics profile. If you go to a Monster, if you go to any recruitment platform, they're saying, do you have exposure to analytics tools? Do you have exposure to business tools, decision making? Another thing is this all coding? Absolutely not. This is not just about coding, because if everybody is reading where we are going, for doing the mundane calculations, you will have an AI or an ML solution to it.
Yes.
What is really important is what can you make sense of the outcome that you're getting from there? That data is telling you, it's throwing out some numbers. What does it really mean? So, I mean, an example that I would like to give you is, during elections, there is a lot of data that all the news channels throw out. Yeah, but it is those experts on the panel who make sense of that data that is coming out.
Exactly.
So like that, a management student is the expert who has to make sense of that RBA data or, that analytics information, and what is it that your customer, your employee, or the market is telling you. Yes. So you have to realize this, and irrespective of that program, you're going to be anyways seeped into this, because you should not have this fear. So coming back to your question, your fear is completely unfounded. There is nothing like that. You mark the programs that you are genuinely interested in. Don't mark it because you think that, मैं fifth option rural रखता हूँ, क्योंकि कुछ नहीं मिला तो rural मिल ही जाएगा. नहीं मिलेगा. If you are not stable for it, तुमको नहीं आएगा call.
Yes.
Okay. So, and agar call aa bhi gaya and you get into the program and you don't do well, you're not going to succeed. So my suggestion is that please don't get into all this number game, and you don't do the math. You get your head sorted. Choose the programs that is of interest to you, and yes, at least I think most of the students top 3 or 4 options, they are very clear what they want to do.
Agree.
And then the remaining options, then you look at, okay, am I willing to move out of Bangalore, or am I willing to move out of Mumbai, or go to either campuses? And if that is a field you want to pursue, then just go ahead with it.
Makes sense completely. So ma'am, any like closing end from your side, like like in terms of taking a decision and applying to Welingkar, okay, what students should finally have in mind and take the final call?
So, okay, some number driven things, because usually that gives a lot of comfort to the students. Welingkar does have 8 different programs, and last year we have also increased our intake in e-business and research and business analytics to 120. So if you're looking at a good business school with new age programs, then Welingkar is an option that you should surely have. And I think with an 80 CAT percentile and a CMAT 85, it's really very much the game is still on, because
15,000 applications, okay, every year. That itself shows, okay, that like the competition that students have, okay, to get into the campus.
And this is both for Mumbai as well as Bangalore. Okay. So this is for Mumbai and Bangalore together, and also we conduct a singular process for both the campuses. One single application, so we are not wanting to burn a hole in your pocket. You just go through one single process. So I think it's a good business school that you can apply to. Second, you look at the fees and you look at the kind of average packages. Also look at more than the median, how many people have got, and look at the type of companies. So looking at this, I would say that Welingkar would be a good bet for you if you're serious about your career. Okay. And as far as the selection process goes, if you have done reasonably well in your entrance, you have a very good window to do well in your interviews and also add up a notch better. And lastly, please take the time and make your application form shine through, because your profile is what is the starting point for an interviewer to know you. So it's almost like you are writing out why the interviewer should score you well.
In fact, I tell ma'am this thing to a lot of students, okay, saying that ki sir, सर वेलिंकर अप्लाई करूं या नहीं करूं. मैंने कहा देखो, वेलिंकर अप्लाई करना एक अलग चीज है, तुमको मिलना एक अलग चीज है. ओके, लाइक you yourself are thinking कि सर मैं वेलिंकर, तुमको वेलिंकर इंटरव्यू के लिए बुला रहा है, एडमिशन दे रहा है नहीं दे रहा है, ये तुमको पहले जाके you have to take effort for it. So so अभी बैठ के पूरा कहानी सोचेंगे, okay, rather than like, because I mean you have very clearly mentioned, okay, there's good 40-50% weightage to the interview part. So I think that's a good amount of battle, okay, with 15,000 applications almost coming in and 40-50% given to the interview itself. That's a good weightage, okay, for students to prove themselves. So I think that is the first thing that you guys, like the students every year, okay, should think of.
The interview, the profile, which includes
overall profile.
Yes. And I really like what you said. Sometimes it's a good idea to cross the bridge when you come to it, because a lot of things keep unfolding for the students also. When you apply to multiple institutions, while cutoff of the entrance exam is the first stage, you may have applied to multiple, then it's a funnel end of the day. Now you look at the second set of options you have and cross the bridge when you come to it. Don't try to solve everything at one go and cause more confusion for yourself.
Yes. Great. I think that this interaction will give a lot of clarity to students, okay, with regards to their applications, okay, and the preparation, okay, for the next rounds.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Okay, thanks a lot for your time. Okay, I think
thank you very much.
You are the best person to guide students from this perspective, okay, with obviously the kind of experience that you bring in. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you very much, and wishing all the best to the students, and look forward to seeing a good number of you at V School.
Yeah, thank you.
Mumbai and Bangalore.
the best for students. And by the way, just a reminder again, you can find the link in the description, okay, where all the college cutoffs and the process, okay, selection process, everything is being briefed there. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.